She was the daughter of the greatest man to ever walk the earth, Prophet Muhammad, but her life was not one of luxury, ease, or fame. Instead, she lived in the shadows of struggle, sacrifice, and silent strength. FATIMA binti Muhammad, often called the leader of the women of paradise, is one of the most beloved and revered women in Islamic history, yet so much of her story remains untold. Behind her gentle smile was a heart that bore immense pain, watching her father being abused, facing poverty with grace, and enduring the trials of motherhood and loss. Her story isn't just about being the daughter of the Prophet Muhammad, it's about being a symbol of resilience, faith, and purity in a world that constantly tested her. In this powerful and emotional journey, we unveil the lesser-known chapters of Fatima's life. From her early years in Makkah to her final moments just months after the Prophet's Muhammad death, this is the untold story of Hazrat Fatima, the radiant flower of Islam. She wasn't just the daughter of Prophet Muhammad, she was his heart, his mirror, and his greatest comfort in times of pain. Fatima binti Muhammad, the radiant daughter of the final messenger, led a life of sacrifice, strength, and silent endurance. Her story is often overshadowed by her father's mission and her husband's heroism, but today we uncover the untold truth, the story of a woman who carried the weight of prophethood in her heart and bore life's trials with unmatched dignity. Born into struggle. Hazrat Fatima was born around 605 CE in Makkah, during a time when her father had not yet declared prophethood. She was the youngest of Khadija and Muhammad's children and grew up in the earliest and most difficult years of Islam. From a tender age, she witnessed her beloved father being mocked, insulted, and even physically abused by the Quraysh. There is a powerful incident where the Prophet Muhammad was praying near the Kaaba, and the Quraysh threw camel intestines on him. It was young Hazrat Fatima who rushed to her father, crying, cleaning him, and showing the courage of a warrior despite being just a child. Her love for him was deep, pure, and protective, and it would remain that way for the rest of her life. A childhood of hardship. While many daughters of Makkah's elite lived in comfort, Hazrat Fatima grew up in a home where struggle was a daily visitor. After the death of her mother, Hazrat Khadija Fatima stepped into a role far beyond her years, caring for her father, running the household, and becoming his emotional pillar. When the Muslims were forced into the harsh valley of Abu Talib during the boycott, Fatima endured hunger, thirst, and fear alongside her family. These early years built a resilience in her that made her one of the strongest women of her time. The marriage of light. As Fatima came of age, many noble men came forward to seek her hand in marriage. But it was Ali ibn Abi Talib, the cousin of the Prophet, Muhammad, who won her heart and her father's approval. Their union wasn't built on wealth or status, but on piety, love, and devotion to Allah and His Messenger. On their wedding night, the Prophet Muhammad personally attended, and in a deeply emotional moment, he placed Fatima's hand in Ali's and said, "Fatima is a part of me. Whoever hurts her, hurts me." Sahih al-Bukhari. Their marriage was simple, no palace, no jewels, but it was filled with barakah, blessing. Fatima and Ali lived a life of poverty, but their home was rich with love, iman, and mutual respect. A life of simplicity and service. Fatima never lived a life of luxury. She would grind grain until her hands blistered, fetch water until her shoulders ached, and clean the house until exhaustion overtook her. One day, she asked her father for a servant to help ease her burden. But instead of a servant, the Prophet Muhammad gave her something far greater. He taught her a simple dhikr, remembrance of Allah. Say Subhanallah 33 times, Alhamdulillah 33 times, and Allahu Akbar 34 times before sleeping. This spiritual gift became known as the Tasbih of Fatima, and it remains a powerful sunnah practiced by millions today. It showed that true strength comes from the remembrance of Allah, not from ease or material help. Motherhood and heartbreak. Hazrat Fatima became a mother to several children, including Hassan, Hussein, Zainab, and Hazrat Kulthum. She raised them in the ways of the Prophet Muhammad, nurturing them with love, discipline, and deep spiritual values. Her children, especially Hassan and Hussein, would later become the beloved grandchildren of the Prophet Muhammad and leaders of the Ummah. But her motherhood was also marked by sorrow. Some of her children passed away in infancy, and she constantly worried for the safety of her family during the turbulent early years of Islam. the deepest bond between father and daughter. No relationship in Islamic history is as emotionally moving as the one between Prophet Muhammad and his daughter Hazrat Fatima. Whenever she entered a room, the Prophet Muhammad would stand up, kiss her forehead, and seat her beside him. He called her Biha, the mother of her father, because of the compassion and care she showed him. The Prophet Muhammad once said, "Fatima is the leader of the women of paradise." Sahih al-Bukhari. He loved her deeply, and she was the last person he spoke to before his soul departed this world. The final goodbye. As the Prophet's Muhammad's final illness worsened, Hazrat Fatima was by his side. He whispered something to her, and she began to weep. Then he whispered again, and she smiled through her tears. Later, she revealed, "He told me he would soon die, and I cried. Then he told me I would be the first of his family to join him, and I smiled." Indeed, just 6 months after her father's passing, Hazrat Fatima left this world at the young age of 29. Her heart could not bear the loss of the one she loved most. She was buried quietly at night, according to her wishes, and her exact burial place remains unknown, a final symbol of her humility and modesty. Legacy of a radiant soul. Fatima binti Muhammad is more than just a figure in history, she is an eternal example for Muslim women and men alike. She showed that dignity doesn't come from wealth but from character. That beauty is not in appearance, but in patience and faith. That love for Allah and His Messenger Muhammad is the ultimate treasure. She gave the world Hassan and Hussein, whose blood would later water the seeds of truth. She left behind a legacy of courage, devotion, and righteousness that lives on in every heart that remembers her. The untold story of Hazrat Fatima is one of silent strength, gentle love, and unshakable faith. She suffered, she served, and she soared, becoming a beacon of light for generations to come. Today, her story reminds us that true greatness lies not in fame or fortune, but in sincerity, sacrifice, and standing firm in the path of Allah. May Allah be pleased with Fatima binti Muhammad, and may her story inspire our hearts to rise above the dunya and strive for the Akhirah. Ameen.